Oftentimes, I find myself struggling to make new friends. Especially now that I've moved to a new city after graduation, it can be pretty difficult to form those close connections. Furthermore, as a busy young professional who oftentimes lacks the time to be in those social situations, it can be pretty challenging. However, I'm not the only one who struggles with this. According to the American Perspective Survey, the percentage of US adults who report having no close friends has increased to nearly 12% since 1990. Furthermore, the percentage of US adults who report having 10 or more close friends has actually decreased by nearly threefold. Some are calling it the friendship recession. In today's episode of Ethantium TV, we'll be taking a deep dive into some footage showing two of America's most fierce rivals coming together to become friends. As we watch this friendship blossom, we'll be asking ourselves one crucial question: what can we learn from this? You're watching Ethantium TV, and this is the art of making new friends. So as you can see, we have two individuals seated right here in what seemingly seems to be some sort of White House, which makes sense because one of the individuals seated here is Donald Trump, who is the president currently, which, so it makes sense why they're in the White House. The other individual here is Zohran Mamdani, who is the mayor-elect of New York. Zohran Mamdani is currently mayor-elect of New York City. He's best known for some of his policies such as affordable housing and fast and free buses. And if you know anything about these two guys, their ideologies, they don't get along that well. People say, oh, one's extreme right, extreme left. One side wants to, kill all immigrants. The other side wants to give health care to people. So, two different sides of crazy. Am I right? But we're just going to examine, they had a meeting of peace, and we're going to watch as a friendship blossoms here.
Well, thank you very much. We've just had a great meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours that we love to do very well.
Wow. Incredible. Look at that. They've already found something in common. Now you might think, this old fart. What could he have in common with a hip youngster like Zohran? Zohran Mamdani is currently mayor-elect of New York City. He's best known for some of his policies such as affordable housing and fast and free buses. Well, this wasn't on my bingo card for this year. For future notice, whenever I whip out the mug, that means I'm about to make a millennial joke.
New York, if I can get prices down, it's good for New York. And we've got them down, way down from...
I'm sorry, I know I'm supposed to be paying attention to the video, but these trucks in the background, what are they doing back there? It's really interesting to me.
And we've got them down, way down from last year. We have...
He does not know where those prices started. He says way down from where they were last year. Way down from where they were last year, whatever that number was.
Way down.
They're lower.
As you know, I've been saying to a lot of people, Walmart said that Thanksgiving this year is exactly 25% less than last year. So that's good for New York.
Exactly. Can you believe that? I mean, with how exactly on 25% it is, you would have thought this was like an 8th grade math test with how exact those numbers were. Incredible.
New York.
What are the odds? What are the odds, you ask? Well, let me break it down for you. Let CA 2025 be the national average cost of a defined Thanksgiving meal basket in 2025 and CA 2024 be the cost in 2024. The variable of interest is the percentage change in P, where P equals CA 2025 minus CA 2024 divided by CA 2024 times 100%. We seek the probability that P equals negative 25%, the probability that P is exactly negative 25% with no deviation. Historical data from the American Farm Bureau Federation shows year-over-year percentage changes P are a continuous random variable. Its distribution can be modeled as normal around a mean forecast with a standard deviation derived from historical volatility. For 2025, consensus estimates range from negative 5% to positive 0.6%. We will use a midpoint of negative 2.2%. Analyzing the last 20 years of AFBF data, the standard deviation of year-to-year changes is approximately 4.5%. Calculating the z-score, x minus the mean forecast divided by the standard deviation equals negative 0.25 minus a negative 0.022 divided by 0.045, which equals negative 0.228 divided by 0.045, which is approximately negative 5.0667. Plugging this into our main formula, we get f of x is equal to 1 divided by 0.045 times the square root of 2 times 3.14159 times e to the power of negative 1/2 times negative 5.0667, which is approximately equal to 2.28 times 10 to the power of negative 5. The value 2.28 times 10 to the power of negative 5 is not a probability, but a density. To estimate a probability, we must define a tolerance interval around negative 25%. Assuming that the AFBF survey's margin of error is likely plus or minus 0.5%, the probability that P is within negative 25.5% and negative 24.5% is the integral of the probability density function over that interval. For a very narrow interval, it can be approximated as the probability is about equal to f of x times 2 epsilon, which equals 2.28 times 10 to the power of negative 5 times 0.01, which equals 2.8 times 10 to the power of negative 7. This is approximately 0.0000228%, or 1 in 4.4 million.
But I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am, I will say. There's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping.
No difference in anything. So that means that after this meeting, either Zoran is now a fascist, Zoran Mamdani is currently mayor-elect, or Trump is now a social. You know, one would be a lot better for our country. The other would be very unfortunate for New York. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe after, well, the only way we'll really be able to tell is by just kind of looking at Trump's behavior after this and seeing, okay, how is he acting? Is he acting more similar to Zoran? Is Zoran acting more similar to Trump? Are they dressing the same way? Is Trump copying how Zoran dresses? That's really going to be the only way to tell kind of where their headspaces are after this. Now, before I get further into reviewing this very beautiful footage, we do have a quick message from one of our sponsors.
Something about those jingle bells makes me wanna sing. Something about those jingle bells puts me in the mood. Something about those jingle bells just makes me wanna sing. Something about those jingle bells puts me in the mood.
This holiday season, give your family something to be excited about and give them a copy of Ethan Harris's brand new Christmas album, Ethan Harris Presents and Ethan Harris Christmas. With brand new tracks such as There's Something About Those Jingle Bells and Christmas Town, Ethan Harris will ensure that you don't just spend time with your family this Christmas, but that you really feel the holiday spirit. Get yours today on pre-order for $19.99, set to release in early December. Act now as supply is limited. When you pre-order 3 or more albums, you will receive a free Ethan Harris Presents and Ethan Harris Christmas t-shirt, and you will be entered into a raffle to have a chance to win a $15 gift card to Long John Silver's. Happy holidays.
Something about those jingle bells makes me wanna sing. Something about those jingle bells puts me in the mood. Something about those jingle bells just makes me wanna sing. Something about those jingle bells puts me in the mood.
actually have peace in the Middle East. As you know, the King of Saudi Arabia just left yesterday. We had some great meetings, and he's made a contribution toward the United States of more than $1 trillion. We have now over $20 trillion coming in. No country has ever had anything like that, not even close. If you go to 2 trillion or 1 trillion, it's a lot. We have 20 or 21 trillion.
One of my favorite things that Trump does is he makes up numbers, but then he goes into like the semantics of these numbers. He'll be like, oh yeah, we're getting $20 trillion. It's amazing. But then he's like, then he kind of like just keeps talking, and then he's like, well, we've had 1 to 2 trillion before, and now we're gonna get plus 1 trillion, and then we are gonna have to spend about 3 trillion. So the 21 trillion minus that 3 trillion, but we'll also get another 5 trillion from the other deals. So and then you divide it by the other trillion, and then you end up with around 15.5 trillion. It's like, did any of these numbers exist before?
You threatened to send federal troops to New York City. You both have differences when it comes to ICE agents in New York City. Mr. Mamdani, you've called ICE a rogue government entity. I wonder how you reconcile your differences on both of those issues.
Well, I think we're going to work them out, and I think that if we have known murderers and known drug dealers.
Notice the positive language here. They're talking about Trump goes, I think we'll work this out. Rather than saying, no, I believe this, I can't change on this. He goes, I think we'll work this out. Now, in his eyes, that probably means something horrible. But, I can't help but think, they've reached this flow state where they're like, it's you and me. Trump goes, listen, Zoran. Zoran Mamdani is currently, it's you and me versus the problem. Incredible.
For me, last week you told me you were pushing ahead with your plans to sue the BBC for up to $5 billion. You were going to speak to...
How dare you threaten to sue BBC? How dare you? This guy, he doesn't even care about the fact that they had this meeting. He could be asking this question at any meeting. He's just always like, you disrespected the authority of the BBC.
And your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay.
Incredible. Look at them. Look at that smile. He's like, ah. Well, what I'm seeing right here is kind of that dynamic where it's you have that one racist grandfather, and you kind of get along, but then every once in a while he says something that you're just like, oh. You're like, whoa. Thank God you're just... thank God you just stay at home all day and you only leave to go to Costco once a month.
It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
We wouldn't understand. Listen, sometimes you can't get what goes on in between, two best friends, right? We can't get that dynamic. You see two best friends, it's almost like telepathy with them.
I don't mind.
Mr. President, I wanted to ask you...
And we just move on.
We discuss crime, and he doesn't want to see crime.
So funny because I feel like Trump actually falls for the lies that Fox News spreads, where they're they'll go on air and they'll be like, oh yeah, Democrats, they love crime, they want more crime, they want to do crime, they want socialism. And Trump, I think he actually believes this stuff. And so the second he actually talks to a normal person on the left who just wants life to be a little bit better for people, he's like, I don't know what these guys are talking about. He surprised me so much. He's a great guy. He doesn't want crime all over the streets.
What policies are being said? We had a meeting today that actually surprised me. He wants to see no crime. He wants to see housing being built. He wants to see rents coming down, all things that I agree with. Now, we may disagree how we get there. The rent coming down, I think one of the things I really gleaned very much today, he'd like to see him come down, ideally, by building a lot of additional housing.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate way. He agrees with that, and so do I. But
I love building ballrooms. He loves building housing. That's something we have in common. Again, you see the way they build this friendship. They find those commonalities. They accept those differences, and that's what we can take away from today.
And I think the key thing is that we have to make it easier for police to focus on police work, not ask them to respond to 200,000 mental health calls a year.
So is that a reduction from what you're at right now? Or are you committing to maintaining the same level of cops?
I've committed over the course of the campaign to maintain the 35,000. That's the head count that we had through the campaign.
Dude, was she born yesterday? Like he's said this so many times. Like,
I will not defund the police. Mr. Cuomo lies again and again and again. I am not running to defund the police.
You know, I have spoken about, as it pertains to headcount, sustaining the number of officers.
at what point do we just like have to be like, get the fuck out of here? Like, you clearly haven't done a base level of research, and you're coming in here asking what the same question he's answered like 5 times.
And if he can, we'll be out there cheering. I'll be cheering for him. Okay.
And there you go. The conclusion we've all been waiting for. The 4 great points of making friends. Number 1, find similarities. Number 2, accept those differences. Number 3, stick up for your friends. And number 4, cheer for them. What we've witnessed today is 2 people coming together, and we've watched a beautiful friendship blossom. The only question is, what will it look like in the future? I want to thank all of you for tuning in to Ethantium TV. It's been a pleasure getting to analyze this footage alongside all of you. Hope you have a happy holidays, and I'll see you on the next episode of Ethantium TV. Next time on Ethantium TV. I mean, I wish you all knew the kind of week I've been having. Couple of zombies. Oh, there's 3. So here I am just driving when all of a sudden this car in front of me. So it's come to my understanding that a lot of people are talking about you on this, and it's like I read this book and I'm starting to realize things. Oh, it's an ambush. Oh wait, there's actually so many. What the hell? In front of me has all these lights. Like, a little dramatic, don't you think? This recent video I made saying the views are botted. Flipping through these pages, I'm realizing all this stuff. I'm like, no one else is seeing this? Dude, there was so many. Average around 300 views. There's no way these are real views. These are inorganic. Like, there's no way. It's like, why is no one talking about this? I feel like I'm losing my mind. How is nobody realizing that Greg Heffley's literally been dead the entire time?